Well, that's not good, is it? There we go. That's better, huh? I gotta get my okay. That's on discussion. You're live. I know that. Okay, we go live down here. Okay. 2020 is the ghost worker. I like a ghost worker. Now, why doesn't that? Let me pull this up a little bit. That's a little better. It's not getting my other computer screen. Screen. Oh, Regina and Alex. Oh, we're getting members. Oh, we may get the YouTube people are gonna feel left out tonight, maybe, because we're gonna have too many members, maybe. And more people. I mean, I'm just really happy about Lesko Help. I've been working, how to get this information to people again. I was very successful selling books. Hiya, Mr. Lesko. Hiya, kids. Hiya. But it just doesn't work the same way on the internet, and it's really a whole different ball game. And that's why I think 2020 is going to be a different ball game, for all of us. I mean, and particularly work-wise, election-wise. I mean, that is after insurance. What do you mean is after insurance? Is there help for the hospital bills? I was in the hospital and have 50. So many people, actually, more people are going bankrupt now because of hospital bills. If you remember Lesko Help, I'll send you all the free sources. There's a lot of nonprofit organizations and things like that help you with that. There's a lot of ways to fight that. The first thing, when you get that hospital bill, you call them right away. Call your hospital right away and have them explain all the stuff on there, because that's the first thing to do. I have a report for Lesko Help members to send it out, but you'll see there's a lot of research going on. They're trying to pass bills in Congress to stop this, what the hospitals are doing. You go to the hospital, have no idea, and you get $50,000 bill and you thought you were covered. So first thing to do, call up the hospital and ask them to go over every line item. And they're going to see things in there. Band-Aids, $13,000 or something. Oh, that shouldn't be there. I mean, they're going to get rid of a lot of obvious stuff at first, and then you fight. Okay, you go, and there's people that regulate that stuff. There's nonprofit organizations that'll help you fight those bills. Now, where to go in the regulation? Go to your state insurance commissioner's office. That's the place to go to. Also, go a place to start. I know I can't think of the names of the nonprofits off the top of my head. But there are nonprofit organizations. But the people who will help you too is the consumerfinance.org, consumerfinance.org.gov, consumerfinance.gov. You could put in a complaint about the bill, and they will investigate within 2 weeks. I mean, maybe it won't happen, but all it costs is filling out a form, and trying. And a lot of hospitals are getting shamed that they're doing this to people. And the health industry is so big, so profitable and everything. Actually, I was just reading a report recently about nonprofit hospitals are making too much money. Now that's weird, isn't it? And by the way, if you're a Lesko Help member, the best way to get your answer to a question is use the discussion. Put a new discussion with your a question in it, and then it goes, and then we see that automatically. If you're just in a normal discussion, in other words, it's hard for us to pick it out. What is ghost workers? That's a new term that's being used now, because that's what we're becoming. We're all becoming ghost workers. We're not employees or whatever. We're working at home as a ghost worker. In other words, and Amazon started that. 7-8 years ago, by hiring people just to do simple. The computer can't pick out a green picture, or the computer can't pick out, those things you get. Which of these pictures have a street sign in them? The computer can't pick that out. So we have people now artificial intelligence is creating what I call robot helpers, or ghost workers, they call them. And what's nice about it, because it's flexible. A ghost work, being a ghost worker, it's not full time. It can be full time. It could be part time. It can only when you want. It's people who want flexible schedules too. So that's very nice. There's no commuting. So all the hassles of work. There's no politics of the office, and so a lot of things are. The bad things of working office aren't there, but there's bad things, parts of this too. But good or bad, this is where it's at. And that's the only thing you should be aware of. Is you think it's not fair or something, that's a different issue. The first issue you have in life is supporting yourself. You have to get income to support yourself, and I think after that, then you can worry about the world. But first, worry about you. that you're supporting yourself. The NMTC funds. I don't know what MSTC are. Ghost worker. 22 is money movers. I don't know what NMTC. I mean, I know a lot of jargon in Washington, but and that's what I try to do, is put all the Washington stuff in clear English so people know if this is worthwhile or not. And that's the important thing. And the next important thing is, don't be afraid to ask. You just call up the government. I mean, the most important tool you have is not your computer, it's your phone. Because now with everything so complicated, like here, they said, well, NMTC, I don't know what the hell that is, and I thought of that, the new market tax credit. Well, I don't know what that is. That's a tax credit for new market. If you want to know what that is, you call the IRS. They wrote the goddamn thing. Now, they're going to be busy now for a while, but you put the phone on hold and you go work and play solitaire or look at porn or whatever you want to do. Well, that's on hold, the speaker, and they come 20-30 minutes later, and it's free. I do that all the time. And what I do is get that information and take my best guess, and I do all my own taxes. And so nobody knows the right answer. There's some sort of right answers, but you could take your tax return to 15 different people and you get 15 different answers. And they all so-called experts. You are absolutely right, Mr. Oh, thank you. What are the ways to get your taxes done for free? There's a lot of ways. I have a report. If you go IRS debt, if you go www.free.lesko.com/IRS debt. I'll write that in YouTube. www.lesko. I have to know how to spell Lesko. Lesko.com/IRS debt. And if you go to that website, it's a download a report with videos. It tells you not only how to get all your taxes done for free, but also how to fight the IRS, how to only pay 10% of the back taxes you owe, how to get free legal help if you really have to fight the IRS, and stuff like that. And by the way, I was reading an article today that the IRS is going to audit more people who make $100,000 or more. and they're going after them. And actually, people don't pay taxes. A lot of people just don't pay taxes, and they hide. So they're trying to squeeze more out, and really aiming at people at $100,000 or more. And so that's, if you owe taxes, man, you just go to the IRS, call and say, I can't pay, and get that monkey off your back, okay? And actually, that report too will show you how to get free legal help if you've even worried about doing that. But you don't have to. There's negotiations. They will get you down to, you only have to pay 10%, and $1 a day for the rest of your life or something like that, whatever the hell it is. But you don't want to live with that anxiety. That's worse than anything. And that's easy to get. Anybody could get that. What's the best way to ask for funding in regards to upcoming projects that are tax deductible for the investors? Well, that sounds a little bit like the new market tax credit, but that was, I think maybe he was talking about the opportunity, maybe tax credit, and that's what that is. Going with the flow. Are you the same person? The opportunity grants. That for certain neighborhoods, your investors, that you get money to do businesses there or real estate or whatever, they don't have to pay taxes on the profit. So all of a sudden, see, your investment is worth 20, 30, 40% more than anybody else's investment. So that's interesting. What about money in Maryland to study math or science? Well, I guess it's higher education, college. The first thing, Maryland, you go to in the state office of education. You want to go to your state office of education. Every state has a state office of education. They have scholarships for the stuff they need. We need teachers for math and science. So there's probably in Maryland and most other states are scholarships and grants for people who want to study math and science. Okay, that's the first place I would look no matter what. The second place is you go to the school that you applied to and you sit in their their scholarship office. You just sit there. If it takes you half a day or whatever, they know more about that than anybody else, because most of this stuff now really comes from the school. The school goes out and raises money, and that's how they get it. Now, they don't, I missed it. My first kid, I said, well, I'm not going to miss this again. You got to bleed that school. And that's why it's best to go there and try to figure out how much you could get before you say yes to somebody. You want to visit their scholarship offices and see exactly how much, not the person who's selling you going there. See, what they're trying to do is really sell applications. To me, one of the biggest things in college, people don't realize that it's a big business getting you apply. What's $50 times 10,000? That's how much money they make. So they have a staff of 100 people, right? Just looking at applications. So they want everybody to apply. That's a nice little business. Okay, I hope we're going. So that's why it's the school itself and your state office, and that's very important. Also, don't forget the government hires students full-time, part-time, or whatever, all over the country, no matter where you are. You get a part-time job with the government. It's a good part-time job. They pay well for part-time, so it's not like being paid as a barista. And also, they're looking for more people to apply to government jobs. And see, they need people to apply because all the baby boomers are retiring in the government. So we're looking for more people to apply for the government. Pension. Most jobs now don't have pensions anymore. And so that's why you want to get there and find out about those jobs. Hi, Matthew. What was it, the program, the service that you said will help you write and apply for a grant? I found a grant I would like to apply to. Amy, so you have a grant. Send me the link, Amy. Let me look at it. First of all, there's a couple things. If it's a grant, are you for a nonprofit? If it's just an individual grant, you probably don't need anybody to help. Grants that you need help with is if you're an organization, a nonprofit, things like that. They're complicated. Otherwise, it's just fill in the blanks. The first place you go to is the place who's giving out the money. they have staff people to help you fill out the applications. Many of them give seminars, like if you're an artist. I mean, the Foundation of the Arts have free seminars you attend on how to fill out their grants. Yeah. So it's the office itself. Try it yourself, call them. Because you're going to be, it's sort of like having somebody else fight your war. I mean, some of the big ones, it's all bullshit anyway, so you need a professional bullshitter. But for individuals, it's usually not. And it's usually 3-4 pages, fill in the blanks. So, Amy, just send me the link, start a discussion or whatever, and send me the link that you're looking at. And I could give you a little more detail on it. Because there are places like the Foundation Center is a good way. Don't go on Google and look for a grant writer or on Fiverr or something like that. No, I wouldn't do that. And never look for a grant writer first. And then, Amy, what I would do before you even think about a grant writer is talk to the people at the office who give out the grants. Tell them your background, what you're doing, and does this look reasonable for you to apply to? So you want to get that kind of feedback first before you start investing your time or money to get a grant writer or whatever. So you want to bounce off something like that there to the people who actually give out the money. They're the only true answer if this is good or bad. I don't have the true answer whether you're going to get it. Any other expert on the internet doesn't know. It's the people who give out that money know the best about that grant and whether you should apply and how you should apply. Okay, they'll tell you you need a grant writer. The ticket stubs, ask questions on the Facebook page, but we'll repeat here. Looking for grants to counseling degrees, certification for grief counseling, also grants for nonprofit for grief area. Lots of places there. If you're a member, ticket stubs, I have a report that shows you the 10 best places for nonprofits to get money, and particularly grief and mental health. That's big now in this country. You just look how the way we vote. Everybody's struggling. And so we do, and actually young people, even high school, you have, 7th graders talking about suicide. Well, you're in the business, you know more than me. But yes, I mean, there's a, Johnson & Johnson has a wonderful list of about 400 scholarships for things in healthcare. This is mental health as part of that. It says nurses, healthcare, stuff like that. So if you Google that, it's a report. Members could get it from me. I have it. I'll send it to you. And that's a place to do it. Go to your, again, your state office of higher education. Secondary education. Is that secondary? Higher education, secondary? Secondary? High school? Is that second? I get confused. Primary education, secondary? I guess that's right. And then college. So what is college then? That's second, third? No. Adult ed? No. That's something else. So yes, lots of help for that, lots of money. If you call the NIH library, that's what I would do. Now, you have librarians. People forget about librarians. The internet is all about things that want to make you money. You want to make money, then you ask the internet expert. You want to get information, you go to the library. They know about free information, not about how to make money on the internet, okay? So you call, now, the library in Washington, National Institutes of Health, NIH, they have one of the biggest healthcare libraries in the world. Okay, you call them. That's it. You find a librarian, say, hey, I'm looking for grant money. Can you suggest? Simple as that. And you get somebody whose job it is 24/7. It's like a plumber. So you want to get somebody in to work on your bathroom who's fixed a lot of toilets already, not one who's trying to read on YouTube how the hell to do this. Maybe fix it. It's going to take longer and probably not work for a while. I'm a baby boomer. SS is not enough to cover my monthly expenses. I applied for help through the Community Action Committee, and no organization helps pay your rent. I haven't worked since December 19th, so that's a couple months. Well, what I would do, Marla, is start learning how to generate income. And I know, I think you can make up to $17,000 before they start taking some of it off. And see, instead of looking for grants, I think it's sometimes easier. Oh, I know it is easier, but whether you want to do it or not, to find out how to make income out of the internet when you want. Here's where to go. www dot gig economy dot sf gov dot org. Okay, gig economy dot sf for San Francisco gov dot org. sf gov dot org. Go there. They have a free course on how to make money off platforms and the gig economy. Now, none of this will charge you money. Nothing in the gig economy charges you money. If you're trying to make money on the internet and somebody says, yes, you just give me $400, just give me this, just hang up, or click somewhere else, or whatever. Do not give any money to anybody on the internet that promises you money. Even businesses. I mean, I'm biased on that, but particularly in income, you don't want the legitimate platforms. Don't do that. Legitimate platforms want you to do something, and then you do that and you get paid, and the platform gets a little percentage of what you make. So it's usually 5%, 10%, something like that. Yeah. So that's how to start. And look at that. Now, you're not going to get, it's going to be a little confusing. That's why that course they have there in San Francisco, the people who finish that course, and it's only, I forget, like half a dozen hours or something, start making an extra $1,800 a month. So that right alone, I would think that's going to cover your rent, and that's won't even affect Social Security. Unless you get it down to $1,400 a month, then it won't affect it. Yeah, I think they take out $1 for every dollar you make after, $17,000 or something like that. So that's what to do. And also, there's bartering things you could do. Instead of getting income that's reportable, there's other platforms. You do something, and then they do something for you. That's the old barter game. You need a dentist, and you do the research for the dentist, and then the dentist does your work for free. So you don't have to get income, pay taxes on that, and then pay the dentist. Topic. Oh. Did I miss the info about the ghost worker? Yes. I mean, we've been at this for 20, 30, 25 minutes. This information is here, on YouTube and on my closed Facebook group. You can watch it again. But it's basically how to use the gig economy, because that's where it's going. That's where people are hiring people. People don't want them on the payroll. It's easier, and also with more things being artificial intelligence, actually more things are going to require more ghost workers, because the artificial intelligence goes up a little level, and then we need more people to go do something better than that. So it keeps ramping up all the time, and that's fun. And life will be fun doing that, because it's going to be different. I mean, I grew up, my dad had a factory. We made baby clothes, and I just thought, oh man, that was the most boring place in the world to work. Look, I'm at home, and I'm an old fart, 76 years old or whatever, and having the time of my life and giving more. See, that's what I feel about the gig economy or ghost working or whatever. I think we're here to give. And you could give more of yourself, not in a factory job. You were making $100,000 a year, yes, with just a high school diploma. But that was your body, and it takes, your body, couldn't do that past 60. And now you could do this to 100. I figure at least till 90 something. And that's the reason I run every day. And I'm starting to run again. I thought my running day was over because I was getting some aches and pains and whatever, and couldn't run, and the body wasn't letting me. And then all of a sudden, man, and actually part of it I think was the shoes I got. And I'm running now. I used to run 6 miles a day every day for about 30, 40 years. And I said, well, okay, I'll just walk. And so I started to walk 6, 7, 8 miles a day, sometimes 9. But now I can run again, and I'm up to about 4 or 5 miles a day. And boy, I thought it was over. Life's not over till it's over. And if you have something that's exciting to do, and I think that's what I am so grateful of, I have something that I think is important to do, then it's not work. I mean, that's why the wonderful feedback people give me, I fuck up a lot too. And actually I do that more as I get older. I screw up. I'm very laissez-faire on accounting and all this stuff, because I just screw up too much. I don't have a big staff, so I don't have a big, monster to feed every day. And it's fun. Check your vitamin D. It will help your aches and pains. I don't have any now. I don't know what happened with them. Oh, maybe I left them in the drawer. I don't know where the hell they went to. I know I had them around here somewhere. I gotta find. Grow with the flow. That's a good one. I love walking. Great fascia. Such a blessing. Yes, I mean, I enjoy walking, and then I love not even listening to anything and just enjoying, because I live downtown. So I walk. Actually, I walk to and run to. Now I still do 6 miles, but I'm running 4 or 5 of those now. And I go down to Abe Lincoln and back. You ever been to Washington? You know where Abe Lincoln sits? Well, you see me in my crazy running pants and heart-shaped shirts and everything down there most every day. Well, actually, tomorrow morning, instead of running, I hope to do it running later, but my youngest son just had our first grandchild. So I go over and babysit for a couple hours early in the morning, a couple days a week. And that's really fun, seeing a little midget. That's my boy. And the most, to me, it doesn't excite me having a my son and his wife they have. I mean, I remember when I first had my first child, and the joy of having a child is just, it's irreplaceable. I mean, to me, it's the only thing in life that I found that was better than I thought it would be. Everything else, by the time I got it, I wanted $1 million business. I had 2, 3 that failed. Finally got one. Big deal. I started writing books and I had a New York Times bestseller. And I thought I'd never do that. Big deal. It isn't. Things from the heart are bigger than anything else. And that's when I feel older now. I mean, when it used to be mass markets, and I used to try to sell millions of things and things like that, because it was mass markets. Because you had so many middlemen in the middle. So I had to get a book in Barnes and Noble and sell millions to make, money and all this kind of stuff. And now it's not. No, now I see it as millions of markets. That's why anybody could create a little business now, because you don't need 1 million people. You don't need 1 million customers. You need a handful. And now you could find them yourself. It may take a while, like it has for me, but you can find them yourself without spending money and get those people. Wow, congrats on all your success, including your grandchild. Yeah, I didn't have much to do with that, I don't think. But it's certainly fun. Yeah, it's life is tough, and shit happens to you every day. It's not fair, and all this kind of stuff. But God, so that's why you might as well have fun, because you're going to get beat up, and bad stuff is going to happen no matter what. So that's why, to me, you might as well just start having fun, because you're going to get beat up anyway. Don't try to ignore it. And realize that. And actually, in retrospect, even though it's hard to believe it when it's happening, that's the best times that happen. I mean, if my business was easy to start again, I wouldn't appreciate it as much now. And the struggle comes to see how good you are. If everything was easy, then you're not growing. Then you're not stretching. You're not seeing how good you are if everything's easy. And it's, to me, I always say it's like playing basketball against a 5-year-old, right? You'll win, okay? So you win. But that's no fun, because you're not growing. You're not doing something. Now, how to make money? Well, what do you want to do? Just make money? Well, if you just want to make money, that's why I would just start with the gig economy, because that's a good place. It's all set up. It's a place that you could start a business, to learn how to start a business without starting a business. Learn how to get a customer without having to get a customer. Learning how to get paid without having to worry how to get paid. All those things that you will need in starting a business, and what you have is the best parts too. you have all the best parts and none of the pain in the ass. So you have the best parts of having your own business or whatever is flexibility. So you waking up in the morning, deciding what to do with your life, and that's to me the best part of business, or you wanting to go to lunch all day and not come back, after lunch and not have to lie. And that's the best part of having your own business. So the gig economy allows you to do that. Now, the problem with having your own business is getting customers, getting paid, taxes, all this other kind of bullshit, that has nothing to do with anything. And it's all taken care of by the platforms. So that's why, to me, that's sort of like a gateway drug to starting a business is the gig economy. The gig economy is a gateway drug to entrepreneuring. So if you're thinking about starting your own business ever, start with the gig economy. I gave you the website. It's a free course. You don't have to get an MBA in the gig economy. You take that free course that they have for free. Video stopped. Now, why did that stop? Oh, God, well, that's not nice. That's not nice to fool Mother Nature. Well, that was a half hour. It just stopped like that. Oh, that's not nice. That was on Facebook. I don't know why Facebook's doing that, but who knows? But that's what the gig economy is to me. That's why I think it's so great, and you can do it at any age. I mean, that's why I think it's silly to retire. We retire, and then no, that's the other one. I think it's still processing. Oh, I don't know. We have all this technology, and then getting to work is hard. Okay, for members, so leave me a message on Lesko Help, the Facebook group. It's closed, and it's $20 a month, $19.95. And on the discussions, start a new discussion. Tell me what you want. I'll do the research, give you the websites or whatever on what you need. If it's vague, that's okay. I will read between the lines a lot or ask you another question. I have about 57 current reports that I send members to give you a shopping list of 57 ways to get extra income. All these things that I've been collecting over the years. And these reports are only about a year old at the most. And so that's worth having. I have a whole bunch of also downloads, that's what's called the unit section. And there's a lot of videos there too that you could watch now. Like if you're interested in real estate, I got 7 or 8 videos right there. Everything you ever want to know to make money in real estate and use the government to support it. And that's available. Just start clicking and watching and helping. And then when you have a question, you just ask me. You can ask me hundreds of questions every day. Listen, your videos are true inspiration, and all of us are trying to start a business. Well, that's what I mean. If you are, I was like that too. And that's why I think the gig economy is a good way to do that first. Find something in the gig economy, that you could do, because then that will teach you more about everything without having to figure out all the nonsense, without having to raise money, without, all this stuff. You could be making money by midnight, in this. And this is what ghost workers are about. That's where they come from. Okay, guys, so I'll be back soon. And thank you, everybody, for joining Lesko Health. I've been searching for a long 10 years trying to find out the best way to market this. I know it's important. I think it's important. But if you don't think it, or don't figure out how to get it to you in a reasonable way, then it's not. We're not here just to please ourselves. We're here to please somebody else. That's what I like about capitalism. If people don't pay me for something, then what the hell? Why am I doing it? Please myself? I mean, that's stupid. That's like making love to yourself. No, it's better to make love to somebody else. And that's what capitalism shows you. Well, thank you, guys. I will see you soon.